Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Lily. I am so happy you're here with me. In today's video, I am going to walk you through signatures for my little golden book junk journals. I'm currently working on 6 little golden books and they are all Bambi themed. Here's one of them. Isn't it cute? I'm nowhere near finished with this junk journal. I do have the cover ready though, and if you would like to see how to make a little golden book junk journal cover, I'll have that video for you linked up above. In today's video though, I'm going to walk you through the paper selection. Well, I take that back. Not so much of the paper selection because I've already done that, but I will show you the types of papers that I have chosen for the signatures. And then I'm also going to share some in-depth, detailed information about how many pages, how many papers, things like that. Stuff that I wish I would have known 10 years ago when I started working on junk journals. So I've got 2 signatures ready right here. So I have 2 signatures ready for that little golden book. For this one, I've already worked on 5 of them. Let's assemble these together today. And what I mean by assembling is I'm going to show you how I take the Bambi storybook pages and insert them or combine them with papers from my own stash to create a signature. Does all that make sense? I sure hope so. It's going to be a great video. It is going to be full of great tips, great information in hopes that it helps you so that you can begin to work on your own little golden book junk journals. Are you ready to get started? I'm ready to get started. So how about I meet you over in the Crafty Loft and we can get to work. Let's go. I'm going to quickly show you what I'm working on. It's taking me a minute to finish the little golden books. I have 6 of them on my craft table. I have already selected the papers for the signatures. So each of the little golden books will have 2 signatures. This is signature number 1 and signature number 2. And give me just a second and I'm going to show you what papers I've used to put these all together. So here is one. If you would like to see how I make these covers where I save the golden spine, I will have that video for you linked in the description. And so here is the cover. They're not bound yet, but I'm almost there. I'm almost there. So this is one. I don't want to get them out of order. And then here is the second one. So what I do after I put all of the papers together for each signature, I clip them in place so they don't get shuffled around. So here, and I blinged them too. I also have a video showing you how I bling some of the covers. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so there's that one. And then there's this one. And for this one here, Bambi, I used embossing powder. So it's so pretty. And then I have this one. And I used gold glitter embossing powder. Again, saving that golden spine. Really, the only thing I have left to do is to bind all of the signatures into the spine. I love this one. Look at how beautiful. I love because the Bambi title here is bold and the gold glitter embossing powder I used just really stands out and really pops. This one is my favorite. Okay, here is what I am doing. I have my little golden book junk journal cover. That one's really pretty too, has the gold embossing. And here are the storybook pages. Once the storybook pages are removed, and I have all of that in the video showing how I create or how I do this with the golden spine. I also show you how I remove the papers, the story papers from the cover. they are all stapled. They're stapled into this spine, and you can see the staple marks here. This book is from 1975. It has been loved. It's 50 years old. 50 years old. 1975 was 50 years ago. They each have 2 signatures, and each signature is made up of 3 papers. So here's the center one, there's the second one, and then here's the third one. I have to be careful. I will go back and I will repair this somehow, probably with washi tape. And so each one has 2 signatures in the little golden book. Here's the second half. Now, once I have saved the golden spine, because I don't cut it out, I have my own little unique technique as to how I do this, so there's no cutting. But when I sew in the signature papers, do you see how now the storybook pages are about 1/2 inch wider than the book cover? There's 2 options, and I've done both, where I will either go in and fold about 1/4 of it. It's about 1/2 inch. I fold in about 1/2 inch, and by doing that, you could see how now the storybook pages are tucked in within the cover. That is option number 1. And I'm sharing the way that I do it. There are so many other ways to add the storybook pages back into the little golden book, but I'm showing you my method. So option number 1 is to fold these over and then simply add them to the other papers that I've already selected for the signatures. The other option, and I know it's kind of controversial, there's a lot of opinion, but this is the way I do them. You guys, I'm giving the little golden book a second chance. Look at this. There's water damage, there's a lot of age, and I'm basically saving these from the trash bin. And okay, so the second option is to just simply cut it, where I will get, let me grab it. I'm not gonna do it right now, because some of you may gasp. But what I do is I will take my paper trimmer and then I will trim off. So see, they are about 6.5 inches wide. And I know that my junk journal cover, or the little golden book cover, is now 6 inches wide. And I will just simply go in and zoom and trim off the excess. I know some of you are going to gasp at that, but that's just what I do. And what ends up happening is, see, this right here, there's like 1/2 inch of border from where the text is, okay? I may, when I go in and trim that, let me show you, I may end up cutting a tiny, tiny portion of the text. It doesn't bother me, because these books are not brand new books. They are now going to be, they're going to be junk journal pages. And they'll probably be background pages. I'm adding them to the signature, and they're background pages. So, you know, I may end up covering them with photographs and journaling and other ephemera pieces. Some of you may leave these pages intact in your own junk journals and then only work on the extra pages that have been added in. There's no right or wrong way, everybody. You do what makes you happy. I have not quite decided what I am going to do yet with these. Should I, what if I take a vote? I could fold it over, or I could just go in with my paper trimmer and trim it off, because I am not going to do that right now. You know what? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Right now, I'm just trying to put my signatures together. Let me show you how I now add the storybook pages into the signatures. This is signature number 2, so I'm going to set that one aside. And here is signature number 1. That one's upside down. it's important that you keep all of your papers right side up. And they're different sizes, as you can see, but I already know the length of the cover is 7 3/4 and the width is 6 inches. I want to make sure that my papers will fit nicely within the cover. Do you see that there? So I've already trimmed them down to size. I spent some time doing that. And then I went through my paper stash to select all of the papers. When I'm working with little golden books, I love using scrapbooking papers, designer papers that have gold foil, and I think it keeps in theme with the little golden book. The very first page of the first signature will have this gold foil cover, just like the second one will also have this rose gold as the cover for the second signature. I've been doing that for a long time. I love it. And then I'll also sprinkle other papers within the signature that will have some type of gold element, gold foil, gold glitter, gold splatters, gold something, because I just love it. Okay, so now let me show you how I add this to this. I open them and then keep them flat because I don't want them to go out of order. I want to be able to keep the storyline flowing. So here are my 3 pages. I'm just going to set those down for a moment. And I already know where I'm going to place my pages because I've worked on the other 5. I have a total of 6 little golden books I'm working on. So here's page number 1. And then here's page number 2. I am including some of the grungy papers that I have stained. And this is so much fun to do. I've used inks and spray inks and stamping inks to create this look. I have a video if you'd like to see how I create these papers. I have a video showing you how. And then some of them I will splatter with some gold paint. Okay, so that's page number 2. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to grab the first one, the first page, and I'm going to set it down. Now I'm going to grab another page. I'm doing every 2 pages and then adding one of these. And here's the second one, and you can see how this one was also stained by me, but then it has a lot of beautiful gold splatters. I just love the way that looks. And now I will grab page 2 of the storybook and then add more of this beautiful designer paper, more of my stained paper. It's just an eclectic mix of papers. And now after that, I will add this one. And then here is the center page. The center page, I like to fold it this way. So when your signature opens up, the center of it will have this beautiful paper right in the center, which also has beautiful glitter embossed design. And this is signature number 1. This right here, these are the storybook pages. I'm either going to fold or I'm going to cut, okay? And I'll do the same thing with the second one. Here's my second signature of the storybook. So I'm just going to flip it. So there are 3 pages. And I'm going to do the same thing. Here is page number 1, page number 2. And this is where I add the next storybook page. Add my own papers, 1, 2. Add the next storybook page, 1, 2. And add the final storybook page. And the middle is this beautiful designer paper. And it has these beautiful like gold foil just sprinkled throughout. It's so pretty. And here is my signature number 2. So this is what they will look like. Once, of course, I decide what to do with that. And then I will sew them into the spine. Look at how pretty that's gonna look. And then I'm still going to embellish. I'm going to add some charms. I'm going to add some type of closure here. But this is where I am right now. Would you like to know how many pages I'm using? Let's count them. So I'm going to count front to back. Actually, let me do it this way first. Okay, so unfolded, these are all the papers I'm going to use, and I'm going to count these for you. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 papers in this signature. Folded in half, you now have 20 papers. Front and back, you have 40 pages. 40 pages. I'll show you what I mean by that. This is page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. I think I missed one, but it's 40. It's 40. Let me do it. I'm going to do it again because I know it seems so simple, but I do get a lot of questions when I'm asked, how many pages do you have? These journals will have 80 pages front and back. And I used 10 papers in each signature to come up with that number. I'm going to count this one, okay? I'm going to count front to back. I'm going to try to get it right this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. They each have 40 pages, 10 papers folded in half for the first one, and 10 papers folded in half for the second one. Each paper has 4 pages, okay? So here's one paper. I used 10 papers for the signature. Here's one paper. One paper has 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is how I know that there are 40 pages front and back in the first signature, because 10 times 4 equals 40. Okay? So that is how I know it's so funny, but you know what? I'll tell you something. I'm going to be so honest with you. When I first started junk journaling, I watched Gail Agostinelli, and this was 10 years ago. And I wanted to know I wanted to know all of these details. How many papers? Are you counting front to back? How are you figuring that out? So there was one day 10 years ago where Gail was doing a flip through of her journal. And do you want to know what I did? I counted as she was doing the flip through, and I put her on silent because I just wanted to know. I mean, I watched all of her videos, but for this particular one, I wanted to know how many papers she used for her journals. And I sat there, and every time that she flipped through the page, I counted. And I counted each page, 1, 2, 3. And then I counted how many papers she had folded in half. All of those little details. And that's how I came up with the number of papers to use for the junk journals. It may seem like a lot of work. It is one of the top questions I get asked. How many papers do you use? So now you know. I typically use 10 papers for each junk journal, especially for the little golden books, because these are only a little bit over 1 inch wide. If I was doing a junk journal that had a spine that was anywhere between 1.5 and 2 inches, I don't like to go more than 2 inches. Then I allow for more papers because I don't want it to get too bulky. For anything outside of my little golden book junk journals, I will do 15 papers per signature, just so you know that. But for my little golden books, I typically stay with 10 papers for each signature. Phew! I hope you find this helpful. I would have loved for someone to have shared this with me 10 years ago. 2015 is when I started working on junk journals. And you're going to develop your own style. You may not want to use 10 papers in each signature. You may only want to use 5. You may want to split that up and do 3 or 4 signatures. It's entirely up to you, but this is what works for me. And look at how beautiful the bird's eye view looks. Look at how beautiful all of these papers look. And they all coordinate with each other. I love to leave this intact, especially when there is a child's name here. I don't touch that. I leave it as it is. And then I also like to add, I'm going to embellish these junk journals. I also like to add a little house envelope pocket to the very first page of all of my junk journals. I made these. Look at how stinking cute these are. Do you want to know how to make these? These are so easy. I use greeting card envelopes to make these. 2 little houses from 1 greeting size envelope. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to paper clip it to the very first page, and then I'll tuck something cute in there. These are Bambi themed, so this fawn right here, OMG, aren't these so stinking cute? So these are gonna look so pretty. So when you open the junk journal, you're gonna be greeted by this beautiful, beautiful little house envelope pocket. Anyway, I have them ready to go right here. I sure hope that you found this helpful. Let me know what you think. I am going to continue to work on these. I'm going to sew in the signatures, and hopefully I will have these within the next few days. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.